Hello there. It's Mother V3 again. I hope you're having a good day today. I got a message that really hit me right in the feels, and I wanted to share it with you all. Somebody wrote to me saying, "Mother, I feel so misunderstood. Even when I try to explain myself, people often get it wrong and seem to not care about it. Sometimes my jokes fall flat, or I get to the point of a story and no one seems to follow, and it just leaves me feeling like I'm speaking a different language. I feel really lonely because of this. That's just rough. I totally get why that would hurt. Feeling misunderstood is so isolating, isn't it? Like you're talking and talking, but somehow the words aren't landing right, and after a while you start wondering, is it me? Is it really me? Am I the weird one here? Well, first off, no, you're not the weird one, or you're not the broken one, or you're not broken for feeling this way. Actually, tons of people feel exactly like this. I can't tell you how many messages that I've gotten from people over the years who think that they're the only ones struggling to connect, whether it be in real life or on the internet or both. Just think about it with me for a second. We've all had those moments, right? You tell a joke and people just stare at you, or you try to explain something that's really, really important to you and people just nod politely, but you can't tell if they're getting it or not. Or you finish a story and everyone's like, okay, when in reality you kind of expected them to laugh or be surprised or literally anything else. It's like you're speaking English and they're just hearing this static. It's so frustrating, and I get it. Because you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of when you're into some really niche thing, maybe like a specific genre or game or hobby that most people don't know about, and you try to talk about it with someone and share it with them when they don't have any context of it. Like imagine trying to explain your favorite meme to your grandma who doesn't use the internet, or trying to get someone excited about your favorite band when they don't even listen to that kind of music. Sometimes people just don't have that background to understand what you mean, but that doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong, you know? And yeah, it gets lonely. It gets really, really lonely sometimes. That feeling of when you look around and you think, does anyone actually see me? It's just the worst, dear. I want you to know something very, very important, though. Just because the people around you don't fully understand you, that doesn't mean that nobody ever will. Let me tell you about a friend I once had. We'll call them Daniel. Daniel was always writing these really deep poems about space and time and like really philosophical questions, right? But the other people in our friend group were very practical kind of people, I guess you could suppose, who would kind of just, nod it away and then change the subject to something else. So he was really starting to feel alone with all these thoughts. He would tell me that after a long period of time of this happening, he would just pull back from all our conversations. And what was the point in talking if nobody else understood what he was trying to say? And then one day, he said that he found this online forum with people who were into that same kind of stuff. They shared the same types of poems, and instead of that static, instead of that awkward silence, the people that he had found were like, whoa, this is so amazing. And they had a lot of fun together, he would say. And it was a huge relief for him. So I imagine being in a position kind of similar to yours, I would think. He probably felt the same. He probably thought to himself, oh, I'm not weird. I just haven't found my people yet. And that's the thing. Sometimes It's not about changing how you communicate. Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes it's just about finding the right people. It's like imagine you have a special phone that only connects with other types of phones, and you keep trying to call random numbers. You either get no signal or somebody picks up the phone and hangs it up. But anyways, the problem isn't your phone. You just need to find those right compatible numbers to it. So, what do you do in the meantime? Because yeah, I'm sure it sucks. I'm sure it really sucks to feel misunderstood day after day. Well, I think first of all, you should be a little bit more patient with yourself. You're not failing at communicating with people, I'm sure. You're just speaking your own unique language, and I think that's actually pretty darn cool, even if it could be a little frustrating sometimes. Other times it helps to try different ways of expressing yourself, like if talking isn't working, maybe writing does the trick for you, or art, or music, or find a community somewhere, right? It could be in person or online where people share your same interests. I know plenty of people who feel way more understood through their art or their music than they ever do in regular conversation. Because for artists and for lots of people, some thoughts are just hard to put into words, you know? And don't feel like you need everyone to understand you completely. Most of us are lucky if we could even find a few people who really get us. That's completely normal, dear. Even people who seem super social and everyone likes them, they probably have lots of little parts of themselves that they feel like isn't seen by anyone else either. We're all very complex creatures, and we all have pieces of us that don't quite fit in all the places that we want them to. Also, sometimes it helps to find someone outside your usual circle of people you talk to, like a counselor, or even someone from a different friend group. They might hear you differently than all your friends do. And that can be a very, very relieving thing. You know what's funny? Sometimes, this is really funny, sometimes the people who feel the most misunderstood are actually the most interesting ones, to me at least. They're seeing or thinking about things in ways that others either don't really think about too often or they just haven't caught up to yet. So, if your jokes aren't landing or your stories get a bunch of blank stares from people, yeah, I agree. It sucks. It stings. But maybe you're just ahead of the curve. Maybe you're seeing in ultraviolet while everyone else is still figuring out all the basic colors. So keep trying, dear. Keep sharing those parts of yourself when it feels safe to do so, obviously. And know that somewhere out there are people who will totally understand your very specific brand of being weird. You just might not have found each other yet. And in the meantime, you've got a wonderful community here, I hope. I hope that my bites and I are a wholesome community. We might not understand everything perfectly, but gosh darn it, we're trying. And sometimes being heard, even imperfectly, is better than silence. It's okay to feel misunderstood, and it's okay to feel lonely sometimes. It happens to all of us. But don't let it convince you to stop being you. Your unique perspective on everything matters because you're the only you that this world has. Keep sharing your voice. The right people will hear it eventually, I promise, and until then, we're all here, listening the best we can. If you have anything you'd like to share, or if you have a question you'd like me to answer, leave a comment down below. And who knows, it just might be in the next video. This is Mother V3, sending you some digital comfort. You're not alone in feeling alone. Talk to you soon, dears.